everybody. It's Terry Schultz and I'm Legally Crafty, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Aledo, Texas. And today I came up here with another project in mind, and then I started kind of going through my stuff and I found all of these strips of scraps and I thought, let me see what I can do with those. So I've just got this card in my mind. I've kind of prepped a couple of things, so we're just gonna see how it comes out. So let's get started. And I'm using, since these colors were kind of autumny colors, this is Soft Suede, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Night of Navy, Old Olive. They're very fall kind of colors. I'm using this beautiful autumn stamp set. And I think we're going to use some of these like leaf images, maybe this acorn and this sentiment right here. And this card stamp set coordinates with, it comes in a bundle with these 3 punches. I don't know if you can see the leaf, 2 leaves, and the acorn. And so these punches are really awesome, and these come in a bundle, so if you get them together you can get 10% off. So what I'm gonna do is I've got this piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm not quite sure of the dimensions. It looks like 4 7/8 by 3 1/2. 4 7/8 by 3 1/2. We're gonna go with that. So, and then we can cut it down if we think we need to. And so I'm just gonna start kind of laying these on here. So to lay these on here, I'm going to go ahead and put some Seal Plus down on here. And I'm gonna kind of try to get it from edge to edge for the most part. And once we get a piece down, it's gonna be down. So, because this stuff is super, this is the Seal Plus, it's super strong adhesive. So I'm gonna make sure I've got some on the ends here so that things stick down good, and looks like I've got some glue on my countertop here, my background piece, so that I can stamp over it, but I think that'll be okay. So I was going to kind of start with this Cajun Craze piece kind of right in the middle, and then I was just going to build out from there. So, and I've got, you'll notice these things are different sizes, different widths, I should say. So you know, I'm just gonna randomly kind of place them, alternating colors, and just kind of see. I had a lot of these little soft suede pieces because I think they were from a swap that I did, where I used soft suede as a base or something, and so that's why I had so many of these little soft suedes. So I'm just kind of placing these. That one, I don't want one that thick, so I think I'm gonna go with a little thinner soft suede next to that one, and then maybe this Crushed Curry can be next. And I'm not gonna press down real hard on them just yet, because I wanna maybe, I need to move things. I've got this real thin strip of Cajun Craze that I'm gonna put right here. And so this is just, you know, something you can do with your scraps. If you have a lot of these little scrappy pieces, and I just tend to keep these because I just have an issue with throwing. It just seems like I could probably do something with these scraps, so let me go ahead and keep these just in case there's something I can do. And then I have like a whole pile of these little scraps. So I found these today and I thought, let's just see what we can make with these. So that is what I'm doing. And I'll probably cut that off. So I've got another strip here of soft suede, and then maybe this piece. No, I don't want that. I think I can cut this down, and I have enough to put right here. And it's not exactly even, I see, but I think we will be okay. So now I'm gonna press those down so they're down real good. And then what I wanna do is just kind of take, and I'm gonna use these bigger scissors, kind of cut this off the edge here. So then I'll just have all these little tiny pieces. And you know, if I wanted to make myself crazy, I could even take these little pieces and glue them down and make some kind of a collage with them, but that is probably not necessary. So I'm going to, actually I want to see if I can get this little strip on here. We're going to try it because I've got just a little bit of white space there. And I want to see if it'll stick. And I'm going to use some liquid glue right there because that's just a tiny little piece. And I want to see if I can get this strip on here. But this glue sometimes acts crazy. So I got to get it going, and then once I get it going, it's okay for the day. But there we go. So get a little bit down here along this edge. And see how that goes. So I think that looks pretty good. And it is a little bit wider here, but I'm gonna go with it. I think it will be fine. So that's pretty. I like that. And you could stamp right on this if you wanted to. I don't think I will today, but I'll get these little pieces out of the way. So then what I wanted to do is, I'm just gonna trim this little white piece off, even though it's gonna make it a little bit uneven. I don't think it'll be noticeable on the finished card. So, and there are ways we can hide things like that. So then what I did is I've got a card base of Cajun Craze, and I have a piece of Cajun Craze that is, so the card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and I just folded it in half and scored it. And then this piece of Cajun Craze is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and I embossed it with the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. And if you can see that, I just love this embossing folder. I think that's a very fall looking kind of texture. And so I'm just going to put this right on top of here, just to give a little bit of texture behind this piece we've got here. So I'm going to put that down with my liquid glue here. I tend to reach for the liquid glue more often than anything else because it's a little forgiving. You have a little bit of time to kind of position your layer or your embellishment or whatever before it's really set. So this is almost as big as the card front, and I just really like that look on there, and I like that texture. So we'll put this piece on top of that. We might even consider cutting it down. I don't know. What do you all think? Because what I was thinking was I would use the My Heart is Grateful for You sentiment, and this would be the back. And so I'm using the Tasteful Labels dies, which are really awesome. And I've got these two right here. You can you can see you can stack these on each other and come out with a really pretty mounted set of labels. So what I thought was I would use this Night of Navy, which I cut out using this label die, and then I would stamp on Whisper White and cut out my sentiment in this one. So let's try that and see what that looks like. And I thought I would stamp that in Cajun Craze ink. So let's try that, see what we get. And I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat to stamp on, because these are, you can see I've got some smudges on one side of this, so I'm going to use the other side. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat because these are photopolymer stamps, so they don't have the layer of foam underneath them. So this gives that layer of foam, which will give you a little bit of a better image when you stamp. So I like to use that with these photopolymer stamps. So I am stamping this in Cajun Craze. That looks fabulous, and I'm going to cut it out with this die from the Tasteful Labels, and I will be right back. Okay, now you can see how that cut out, and I think that looks awesome. And you can see how these, can you see that little edge there that those dies give this? So I could mount that on here and put that on top of here. I think one other option I could do is die cut out of this and use that as my backing, but actually I'm kind of liking how this looks right here. So I'm going to go with this, my original plan. So that looks pretty good, but before I go further, I want to get some of these leaves punched out. So I'm going to stamp some leaves, and I think I'm going to go with Cajun Craze for one, and I'm going to stamp that off and stamp it here. And I think maybe I'll do a couple of those. And then I'm going to, so this part is the kind of outlines or veins, and I'm going to use soft suede to do that part. And since these are photopolymer, you can see through them really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right on top of there. And sometimes it's easier to line them up if you stamp this part first, the kind of outline part, and then stamp the inner part, but it doesn't matter if you don't get them perfectly lined up. And I think that looks pretty good actually. So let's go with that. And then I'm going to do some crushed curry. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna keep that out because I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna close up the Cajun Craze for right now. I'm gonna use some crushed curry, and I'm going to stamp this. I think this is like a maple leaf, and I'm going to stamp the outline first so you can kind of see how that works. I'm going to stamp a couple of these so that I can punch them out. And just like that. And then I'm going to get the outline part of it, and I'm going to stamp that in crushed curry, but I'm going to stamp it off. And then you can see how that lines up really well right on there. And that looks really great. So I'm going to stamp this other one just like this. I think I got off a little bit. Nope, that looks great. And then let's do maybe a couple of acorns. Oh, I didn't want to do that in crushed curry. This is the outline of the acorn, which I'm going to do in soft suede right here. And I did it again. I need to close that crushed curry because I keep wanting to use it for my leaves. So I'm going to do it again in soft suede. And then, I don't know, there's a little topper. Can you see that? I put it on the back of the leaf, maple leaf looking one. What color should I use for that? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use Cajun Craze, actually. I kind of like that. But I think I'm gonna do full strength for this part. We're just gonna see what it looks like. I haven't really played with these yet. And full strength. I missed that a little bit, but I think it's okay. And then there's the little body part of the acorn, and I'm gonna stamp that off. I missed that by a bit. My hand slipped. I don't know why it's... There we go. That one's better. And then I think I want to do, let's close this. I want to do an old olive leaf. So I'm gonna do this one, an old olive. And I'm actually gonna stamp the veins in old olive, just like that. I think there's room here. I think it'll be fine. And then I'm gonna stamp the filler part, which is right here. Clean that off. And I'm gonna stamp it in old olive, but I'm gonna stamp it off so I get a little bit of a lighter filler. I missed that a little bit too, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I think that looks great. So now let's get these punches out and start punching these, and you can see how it just will line up super easily. Can you see that? Then you just line it up and punch it out. There's one. And there's our second one. Those are super cute. I'm going to cut this down so I can get to these. Punch these green ones out. Get that lined up. So, oops, today is Labor Day in the States, so that means I'm off work. I always like having Mondays off. If I was working a 4-day week, I'd want Monday to be my day off, just because, I don't know, Mondays are the best day, I think, to have off. That's just my opinion. So I'm off today. I was supposed to go golfing with a bunch of people this morning, my husband and I. However, my son has been diagnosed with COVID, so we are quarantining. So I made a video yesterday, and I got it uploaded, and I got it on my blog. I got everything done and posted, so I decided to come up here and play a bit and make another video. Like I said, I had another project in mind, and then I found these scraps and thought, well, let me see what I can do with that. So this is what I'm doing. So here are the acorns, and there we go. So we'll see if that's enough. These are easy. Punches are so easy. I love punches because they're just easy. You just stamp and punch and it's easy. So now we have all these little pieces. So now let's see what we can make with our card. I'm going to close up these ink pads because I don't need a disaster. I'm very good at getting ink all over myself and then all over everything else. So, oh, I just really like how this looks. So I think I'm going to, I'd like some ribbon or thread. And I think this is, I don't know if this is a current thread. Let me look just a second. Okay, here are some options. Not sure what this goes with. Basket weave and metallic ribbon compact combo pack. This goes with, it might go with this. I don't know. Let me look. So I think that is from our mini catalog. So here's the beautiful autumn bundle. You can see this here. I have this one as well. It's returning. Yes, the basket weave ribbon combo pack goes with this bundle, with this suite. This is the Gilded Autumn suite, and there's paper that goes with it. And there's some metallic paper, and there's this metallic ribbon combo pack, which is mint macaron, and then this copperish. So let's go with that, because that goes with this. I also had this old olive pretty peacock ribbon that was an option, but let's try this copper stuff, because that goes with this stamp set with this suite. So let's do that. I don't have mint macaron in here, so I'm not going to use the mint macaron, but we'll try. This is really cool ribbon right here, guys. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So cool. And I think what I want to do is just maybe do like this. Put it kind of a zigzag kind of thing like that. What do you think? Just make sure I've got it tall enough. This may be the best way to do that. So we'll zigzag like this, zigzag like that, and that should be enough. So let's cut that. I wonder if we can fray those ends. Let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to put down some Stampin' Seal right here, and I'm going to put this down like this. And that seems like plenty. And yeah, I want it to kind of go at an angle like that. And I want to kind of see if that'll fray. No, it doesn't really fray. So then we can put that, oh, that's pretty. So we can put this on top of that, and I think we can do that with dimensionals. So I'm gonna get some dimensionals on here. So my scrapbook room, craft room is actually upstairs. It's my daughter's old bedroom, which has a huge closet. So I have tons of storage room here. I love having my scrapbook room up here. It was in our office, which is downstairs, right inside the front door, and you could see all my mess. And that distressed my husband. He did not like it being messy. So I think we'll get that on there, just like that. So we could have maybe put that ribbon on here and just had it behind here. What do you think? I'm gonna like it like this, I think. So I'm going to, actually I'm gonna pop this up as well. I have an idea on what to do with this. So I'm gonna pop this up just like that. And so do you have any family traditions on Labor Day? We don't really, just a day off, maybe trying to play golf. My parents were supposed to come yesterday, and my dad was going to play golf with us today. But that got kind of scrapped when my son was diagnosed with COVID. So that kind of blew that. So we can put maybe those there. I'm gonna do those with some glue dots. So I think that's an old box, so ignore that box, but we still have glue dots. So I'm just gonna get a glue dot on here and put that down. Oops. I thought I would tuck some under here maybe, and I still think I might do that. That's kind of why I popped that up a little bit. But I like this. I like that there, like that. I think that's really cute. And then, let's see, we could maybe pop some out like this. And maybe like that. And put this other green one maybe here as well. What do you think? Too unbalanced? Too unbalanced. I agree. So maybe like that, and we could put these other places, but maybe just peek some of those out like that. So let's try the glue dots again. So now that we are quarantined for the next 10 days, we ordered some groceries. We only just barely started ordering. My husband really kind of prefers to go to the store. He has brands that he prefers, and you know, things like that. So, but we had ordered a couple of times where he'd picked it up, so at least he's got a little bit of a comfort zone with that. Let's glue this piece down so we can see what that looks like. So, and this is just me kind of talking my process out loud as I make this card, just to kind of see what it's going to end up looking like. That looks a little crooked to me. There, I think that's better. Does that look better? What do you think? Yeah, I think that looks cute. Cute. Cute, cute. Do I want to put a little thing here? What do you think? I like it. I don't know if it needs anything else. We could put some sequins or something. I don't think I want to do that. But I like that leaf and that acorn. And I'm thinking about, I kind of just like it like that. What do you think? And then we need an inside. So I have this inside, and let's just stamp some, little leaves on here, kind of in the corner. Should we do the upper corner or lower corner? Maybe we'll stamp a little acorn. I think I'm gonna do it in the lower corner here. Stamp a little acorn. Let's see, kind of like this. And then I want to, I'm gonna stamp an acorn on this piece of Post-it. This is something I like to do a lot of times on the inside of my cards. And then we're gonna cut this out and we're gonna get pretty close. Can you see? Get pretty close to the edge there of the acorn. And I'm not gonna worry about that little stem there actually at all. We're just gonna let that be. So you just cut around the image. Stay in pretty, you wanna be pretty close, kind of as close as you can be to that edge, image edge, because we're gonna use this as a mask and stamp the leaves so that they look like they're behind the acorn. So the question is, what color do I want to use for my leaves? Try to get this, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. There. All right. So put that down on top of my little acorn there. Now I'm going to take this leaf and I think I'm going to do it in green. Old Olive. And I'm just, oh, I got that on the corner. Just gonna put it like it's kind of behind, like that. And like this. Doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna clean this off. And I'm just using my Simply Chamois here to clean it off. You just get it wet with water and it just cleans off your stamps very nicely. Now I'm going to do the outline. So I don't know if that's clean. Yeah. And I'm going to do it in this green. But I'm going to stamp off. And it doesn't matter if I don't get it exactly right. And I didn't. So I can't really see it that well. But I think that one's better. That one's a little better. So, and then you take off your mask. Look, I got a little smudge there. That's all right. Take off your mask. I got too much. There we go. And the leaves look like they're behind your little acorn. That's cute. And I think I'm gonna fill in that acorn a little bit, but I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use the soft suede, and I just stuck my finger in that ink. See, I'm good at that. This is soft suede, yes. So wipe my finger off here. All right, soft suede it is. I'm gonna stamp that off once. And that looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna take this one. And I'm actually going to stamp, oh, I didn't stamp that off good. Stamp this off twice so it's really light here. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks really good. Now I'm going to stick this on the inside of my card. Oh, I forgot this wasn't an up and down card. Let's try that again, shall we? So let's get this out again. And let's put this in the right orientation this time. You guys were probably yelling at me that I was putting it in the wrong orientation, but that's okay. So we'll do that. We're gonna get our little mask. We're gonna put our mask on our little acorn, just like that. We're gonna get our green ink again. And we're going to stamp that leaf and stamp that leaf and clean that off. And then we are going to stamp the inside of the leaf, stamp it off. I keep hitting my phone with my head trying to see this. I missed that. Actually, I think it's okay. Just like that. That looks good. And then the last thing is to fill in our acorn. So I'm going to use the top, stamp off once, stamp on there, and then the filler, the body, stamp off twice, stamp. That looks really good. I like that. I like that for the acorn. Now, well, I smudged it because I've got ink on my finger, but that's okay. I'm going to put this in anyway. When you write, if you send a card like this and you've got a little smudge, when you write on it on the inside, nobody's gonna know. So we're gonna go with it. Just like that. And there we go. Oh, I think that's pretty. I love that background. What do you think? You know, we could have maybe, what's it called? Splattered on it, on that background, and that would have been pretty too, but I really like how that turned out. So I think that's a fun card. Well, thanks for hanging out with me while I talk through a process of just creating something on the fly. I really like the way this turned out, and it shows, you know, something you can do with your scraps. And I think that's a really pretty background. So thanks again. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.